Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Ducati General Manager Gigi Dall'Igna has heaped praise on Marc Márquez after a dominant 2025 campaign and a title-winning season with the Borgo Panigale factory. Speaking about Márquez's arrival, his impact on the team and what the future holds, Dall'Igna stressed the rider's motivation and the collective development that delivered Ducati's success, while acknowledging the human cost for rivals and teammates alike. Massimo Rivola, Aprilia Racing's general manager, used a Sky Sport appearance at the Festival dello Sport in Trento to set an ambitious tone for 2026. Reviewing the end of 2025, rider recoveries, team progress and the championship picture, Rivola insisted Aprilia is entering a new phase of maturity and believes the factory can regularly fight at the front next year, even naming Marc Márquez as the benchmark to beat. Jorge Lorenzo's father and pundit Ciccio Lorenzo has railed against Ducati team manager Davide Tardozzi's emotional public swings after a dramatic Indonesia GP weekend that saw rookie Firmin Albuquerque take a shock win, while Pecco Bagnaia and Marc Márquez endured contact and injury. Ciccio hailed Albuquerque's maturity but warned team leaders to stop oscillating between public jubilation and visible despair. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Dall'Igna admitted he long wanted Márquez in the Ducati garage and explained why the Spaniard was such an attractive signing. Not just raw speed, but determination, clear decision-making and an appetite to rebuild. Those traits, he argued, made Márquez the right rider for the factory's ambitions. He said Marc had shown very good things last year and that his motivation and clarity of decisions were decisive. Bringing a rider of Márquez's character, Dall'Igna suggests, was as much about culture and leadership as it was about lap times. Dall'Igna reflected on the technical leap Ducati made between 2023 and 2024, a change driven in part by concessions and the need to close a development gap. That foundation, he noted, helped the team capitalize once Márquez found his rhythm on the GP25. He described the 2024 step as important, pointing to development constraints around concessions and the resulting progress. The point underlines that Márquez's results were born of both rider talent and deliberate engineering progress. For Dall'Igna, the partnership has been unexpectedly smooth. He praised Márquez's ability to make engineers and crew comfortable, helping extract the best from the team environment. That interpersonal skill, he implied, multiplies the impact of raw performance. "I've found him very easy to work with. Marc makes my life easier." Leadership in the garage can be as valuable as speed on the track, a recurring theme in elite sport. Dall'Igna didn't shy from the difficult flip side. The presence of a dominant teammate can unsettle even elite riders. He acknowledged the mental toll Bagnaia has felt this year and framed it as an inevitable consequence of one rider pulling so far ahead. He said Marc is definitely a difficult teammate, not by malice but because his performance raises the bar for everyone. The comment recognizes the psychological dimension of intra-team competition and why Ducati must support all its riders. Rather than treating the title as a career peak, Dall'Igna looked ahead. He suggested Márquez has time to add to his tally and that final judgment should wait until the rider decides to retire. The tone was patient, celebrate now, but consider legacy in context. Marc has years ahead of him to further increase his record of achievements. That view frames 2025 as a major chapter, not the final one, and flags Ducati's confidence in sustained competitiveness. Gigi Dall'Igna's comments blend technical realism with human observation. He credits a deliberate development path and a motivated rider for Ducati's success, while acknowledging the strain such dominance places on teammates. By emphasizing Márquez's drive, team fit and potential for further achievement, Dall'Igna underlined that Ducati's 2025 triumph is both an engineering milestone and a story of people, and that the next chapters are very much still to be written. Rivola confirmed Marco Bezzecchi is on course to race at Phillip Island despite penalties, and gave a cautious update on Jorge Martin's return. He underlined how adversity has produced stronger internal leadership and greater professionalism inside the team. Marco is doing everything to be in Australia. He's taken the reins of the team and is guiding it like a great leader. The emphasis was less about sympathy and more about resilience. Aprilia wants its riders fit and focused for a decisive 2026 push. Rivola framed success in simple terms: podiums every Sunday. With Bezzecchi's growth and Martin's rehabilitation, he believes Aprilia has the package and personnel to be consistently competitive. With two riders like these, I hope to fight for the podium every Sunday. That's a clear recalibration. Consistency, not one-off flashes, will be the yardstick for progress. Rivola described Aprilia's program as entering maturity: better rider-team collaboration, clearer technical direction, and the operational confidence to translate testing into race results. He pointed to Misano and other recent showings as evidence the RSGP is closing the gap. The package is working well. We have the direction and confidence to fight every Sunday. The subtext, development discipline and rider stability, will be crucial through the winter and into preseason testing. Asked about Ducati's domination and Marc Márquez, Rivola didn't mince words. He said beating Marquez as a realistic objective rather than a wishful thought, citing recent flashes of pace and the potential of a fully fit Martin and Bezzecchi. The goal is to beat Marc Márquez, and I'm convinced it's possible. Publicly naming Marquez tightens the narrative. Rivola wants Aprilia measured against the very best and is signaling intent to sponsors, recruits, and the paddock. Rivola acknowledged the depth of MotoGP's field. Pedro Acosta, Fabio Quartararo, and others are real threats, but argued that Aprilia's window is opening. The plan is incremental: finish 2025 strongly, sharpen development, and arrive in 2026 ready to capitalize. There are many strong riders, but we're starting very motivated. The message blends realism about rivals with confidence in internal progress. Rivola's tone was bullish but measured, optimism married to a practical roadmap. By publicly aiming at Marquez and promising weekly podiums, Aprilia has raised the stakes and set expectations. The challenge now is execution: keep riders healthy, convert testing gains into race trim, and sustain development momentum so that 2026 becomes the year Rivola's words turn into results. Chicho lavished praise on Firmin Aldiger's racercraft and mental control in Indonesia, calling the win a tactical masterclass after Saturday's near-miss. He pointed to Aldiger's calm, clear plan on Sunday as evidence of rare talent. He stressed Aldiger nailed it on Sunday, learning from the sprint and executing with composure. For a rookie to translate Saturday's disappointment into Sunday's victory is a substantive sign of race maturity, the kind that can seed a championship-caliber career. Chicho lashed out at Davide Tardozzi's very public emotional swings, from celebratory dancing when things go well to a long face when they don't, and urged a steadier public posture. When things are going well, you end up dancing, and when things go badly, you end up with that face of sadness. You have to keep your composure. His point is tactical as well as aesthetic. Visible volatility from a team leader can feed media narratives and unsettle riders during a fragile period. The weekend's drama: Bagnaia low in the order and Marquez injured after contact with Bezzecchi, framed Chicho's critique. He argued Ducati must act strategically in the next two races with Marc sidelined and Bagnaia expected to lead. He warned against emotional highs and lows precisely when the team needs calm decision-making to help Bagnaia and to manage the fallout of Marquez's absence. Leadership tone matters. In a championship campaign, steadiness often trumps spectacle. Chicho also weighed in on his son Jorge's reported return to paddock life as Maverick Vinales manager, suggesting a different path, building an academy or talent pipeline rather than managing a single rider. I've tried to convince him to work on large projects focused on discovering and training talent. The proposal echoes a long-term view, cultivate several prospects rather than chase short-term managerial fame. With Marc out and Ducati scrambling, Ciccio flagged a renewed chance for contenders like Pedro Acosta, Marco Bezzecchi, Aldeguer and Bagnaia to stake claims. He urged Ducati to back Bagnaia but also watch if Aldeguer can convert his breakthrough into consistency. He praised Acosta's grit, and warned Aldeguer must prove he can sustain form, not just flash brilliance. The next races will reveal whether the Indonesian weekend was a turning point or a one-off. Ciccio Lorenzo's intervention mixes praise and prescription. Celebrate Aldeguer's intelligence, but stop feeding emotional theater that can destabilize teams and riders. As Ducati navigates Marc Márquez's absence and Bagnaia's recovery, calm leadership and a long-term talent plan, not roller coaster optics, will matter most. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!